Hello Forkies, this is day 92 of me playing chess every day until I reach the rapid rating of 2500. So here we go. We have the game, we have the white pieces, we are playing against a slightly lower rated opponent, but I will do my best anyway. So opening with the king's pawn here, that's never too bad, and we get e5. Now knight f3 of course attacking the e5 pawn, and now we'll see what our opponent will do. Maybe we'll face 96 and we do, and now we will play bishop b5, known as the Ruy Lopez opening, or the Spanish game. The idea is to pressure the horsey on c6 and then maybe threaten to take e5 once I take the knight. So now a6 is the most popular move, challenging my bishop on b5. Now if I were to take, then simply takes with the d pawn. If I take, then queen d4 is a fork on my knight and on my pawn, so that doesn't win a pawn. So playing bishop a4 and preserving this bishop is an alternative, which is the best move here. And by the way, going back to c5 to c4 would simply be bad. Now we get bishop c5 here, which is quite unusual response. I believe the move c3 here is good. There is also the move castles, but I know c3 is the main line without playing a6 here. What is the main difference? I have no idea. I will simply play c3 and d4 if allowed, of course. Now knight f6 is probably the best move, and after d4, pawn d5, I will play e5. I won't take back. But wait a second, my opponent plays d6 here, which looks like a mistake. Why is that so? Well, if d4, bishop b6, firstly d5 wins a piece. If d4, pawn d4, bishop b4, bishop d2, bishop d2, and queen d2, I have a much better position, I think. I mean, I have the center, so of course playing d4 is the most normal move here, yes. And if takes, then simply pawn takes back. Bishop b6, yes, is a huge blunder. There is also a move bishop a7 that I didn't really cover yet. But if bishop back to a7, and if bishop b6 or bishop a7, maybe I can take the pawn and then just take here and take the queen and take here with a fork on f7 and on a pawn on c6, and that would also be winning. But of course, if bishop d6, d5 wins horsey. So bishop a7 is an alternative, but of course my opponent takes. So now pawn takes. Now bishop b6 also just loses the game, I think, because of d5. Bishop a5, I guess this works. And then you play b5 here. But anyway, that doesn't look that great. And maybe I don't take with the queen, maybe I take with the knight and then I take here. And if you take here, I take with the queen. I should be have a pawn. So we play bishop a7, which is quite unusual move here. So d5, you're relying on b5. There is some calculation to be made, yeah? So I will do that. I am also thinking about playing the move queen to c2 here. Looks unusual. No, queen c2, just b5. Takes on c6 and then bishop d7 is perfectly fine. For black, I think. So there is an option to play d5. It's a very aggressive move after b5 and takes. You have to take me and I take back. I am up a pawn. Knight f6 I can castle. Queen e7 I can castle. Well, maybe my opponent just blundered, yeah? Here, queen e7. I can just take the free piece, and if you take back, you lose the exchange here. Or the rook, if we say so. And then here, just queen e2, I'm winning. Bishop here is an option. After queen c2, nothing really happens after bishop d7 and castles. I mean, castles is also an option, yeah? Castles is also an option, but it allows black to consolidate. But now simply d5, b5. Is there any other move than d takes on c6, winning the horsey? There is probably takes and then takes and then takes like this, but why would I do that? I think just d5, b5, dc6, and ba4, queen a4. There is no threat on f7, on f2 if takes and takes. If queen cannot even get here, so queen is on, my pawn is defended, I can just castle. I think this is just win. I mean, winning is weird to say. I will be up a pawn with probably better pawn structure because a6 will be loose, these two pawns are weak and blocked by my c6 pawn. I think d5 was missed by my opponent. Bishop b4 was much more natural move, so I think just d5. Last check before playing the move d5. d5, b5, takes, queen takes. Is there anything I am missing? Not really. I can even play bishop e3 and trade off the bishops and open up the f line if something goes wrong. So just d5. Queen e7 I can take queen e2. There is no bishop take because king takes, and there is of course nothing there. So yeah, probably my opponent has missed the move d5 here because the knight was pinned to the king. That was the whole idea. Now b5, but now I have to take. If I have played d5, I have to take, and then queen takes on a4 is a pre-move. I don't like doing pre-moves that much. Also, if bishop g4 happens right away, I don't think that's in some universe it might be okay, but probably I can just castle, and if takes, g takes. And there is no check because of my bishop. And then bishop e3 takes. Maybe it's not the... Maybe bishop g4, maybe I play knight e2. And then I castle. And then play h3. That also looks okay. I'm up a pawn. This pawn... Oh, here I might as well take the ace. No, what am I even talking about? This pawn is not free. There is one option that I have looked at it, which is going here. d5 attacks the bishop, that is the idea. And if bishop takes, I take here. And if bishop moves, for example, to d5, I play d7 check. Maybe not the best then. For all, it should be fine. Hold on, maybe d5 takes here, let's say bishop h5, much more natural move, then simply takes here. If no, that doesn't even work. Here, and then bishop f4 was the idea. But then there is check. d5 takes and takes, for example, is probably just also fine. There is knight c3 as well. There is queen d1, which looks kind of natural, but not really. Knight d2 is too passive, so I think just queen d1 is my preferred move here. This pawn is kind of weak, but even if I lose it and get the knight to e5, d5, excuse me, it would be strategically fine. Queen d1, bishop f3, queen f3, nothing there. So my queen is also offside on a4, it doesn't do anything. Bringing my queen back and defending the knight on f3, maybe not the most active move in the position, but I mean, hold on, like, my opponent has the bishop pair. This bishop is gorgeous, but I can just play bishop e3 after castles. This bishop, I mean, all that it's doing, it's pressuring my horse on f3. Now knight f6, of course, natural move, but after knight here, here I can castle, sacrifice this pawn, which isn't really a sacrifice because of rook e1. So just knight c3. Am I missing something? Knight c3. If I play knight c3, castles and rook e1. I could play even e5 there, takes on d8 and then take like this, pressure the bishop, getting the knight maybe to d7. So just knight c3 defending the attacked pawn. And yes, I am down to 10 minutes after only 12 moves of the game, but I think I have better position, so it should be pretty okay, pretty natural moves to play. Just castling, maybe develop the bishop to e3, maybe to g5, we'll see, playing h3 after bishop h5, just playing like a3 before, maybe rook c1, rook to e1, maybe queen to d2. Everything should be fine, I think. Bishop e3 also an idea, and then I get these kind of double e-pawns, which is not the greatest pawn structure ever, but how can you attack my e3 pawn, yeah? You cannot really do that. And e4 is kind of protected enough, so castles and simply castles for white as well. Now rook e8 has a threat. Rook e8 has a threat. But I think after rook e1 or bishop g5, also bishop g5, then there is h6, and I probably have to take that, which is probably just bad. Oh, but hold on, I can then go play knight d5. Um, why exactly is that not great? So bishop g5 and takes is an idea, but then b2 is hanging, so h6 is played. Okay, pretty logical. Defending h5 here, g5, excuse me. There is rook e1 with an idea of knight playing knight d5 because the pawn isn't defended. On e4, if knight d4, knight d5, knight d4 is simply free pawn, yeah? Or is it 23? Yes, I think it's a free pawn. Although after 22, if you go back, 97, nothing special. Bishop e3 is an option here, which I really like. I mean, it looks weird to play that. And firstly, I'm eliminating the bishop pair. I am developing my rook on f1 as well. This pawn after rook e8, I simply like queen d3, queen e7, and knight d2, and you cannot attack my pawn any longer. Your bishop is weird here. And I have just an ideas to play h3, maybe rook f3, maybe rook f1. Yes, I think bishop e3, but I need to make a decision. This is a very important decision, by the way, playing bishop e3 or not playing bishop e3. I will be quiet for few seconds. Bishop e3, bishop e3, f e3, rook e8, queen d3, bishop f3, rook f3, queen e7, simply rook f4, g5. I'm probably losing a pawn there. But timing this sacrifice has to be good, and then knight d5. Even if not, then I get the... I mean, I'm up a pawn, so why not? f3 pre-move, because I'm low on time. Otherwise, I wouldn't pre-move, but now I think I pretty much have to, because I mean, we are both getting 10 seconds every single move because we are playing such time control. And otherwise, then flagging would be an option. Now, of course, I won't lose on time if I go to like 10 seconds. Because of that time bonus, time increment I get. But still, playing on increment is often very bad scenario to go through. Oh, and I just realized maybe I don't even need to play rook f4. I can just play rook f3, knight d4, and then simply rook af1. And how will you defend your f7? In the scenario of now happening rook e8, queen d3 takes rook f3, queen e7, I can just play rook f1. This is... Oh, I get it. I totally missed this move, but I don't think it's any good. Probably it is a good move, but I forgot about this pawn. I mean, of course there is... I mean, now this pawn is also attacked. So there is queen d3, queen takes here. But I get my knight to a very active place, yeah? To f5. And then threatening to take here and then pick up the knight. Oh, this looks just overwhelming. If pawn takes, just rook takes, and there are some sacrifices going on. Wait a second. Queen d3, bishop takes, probably the only move. Queen takes on c6, or simply play rook f1 with the same idea. Maybe to sacrifice, maybe play queen d4, queen d5, and then take. And also, I'm probably relying on a lot of... I'm just calculating one more thing. If queen takes Then here, bishop takes here. His bishop is not getting trapped because he has h5 and g4. Otherwise, I have knight e7 and then I pick up the bishop. Okay. Queen d3 I think is the best. Queen takes and simply knight d4. And then you play probably queen back to d7 I would say is the best. And then like here if you take, I take with the rook. And then survive that, with e5. Oh, e5, if queen d7, e5. If takes. No, because the knight defends the queen, But first it takes on, maybe I have something there. So queen d3 is probably not even an optional move, it's probably just forced. I'm unpinning myself, defending e4. Now queen takes on c6 probably has to be played, but then I get very active knights, and this bishop suddenly looks garbage if I'm completely honest. So probably bishop takes on f3 is the best move. The rook takes, queen takes, rook f1 and rook e8. I'm under a lot of pressure. Nothing I couldn't really hold to it because knight d5. So now rook takes, queen takes, and rook f1 I think will be my option. Should I think about it? Probably not. Here rook a, e8 I go here. Oh, but then simply takes here. Kind of. No, wait. Here you have to take me. Hold on, maybe here actually is a good move. Maybe here you have to take me, otherwise this happens, and otherwise this happens. So let's say you take me, I take you. I'm getting a tempo on the queen. If queen b5, I don't take. I play any move, like queen d4, for example. Then I have just pressure. I mean, the rook f1 looks logical. Rook f1, rook a e8 though, yeah. Slight problem. If I go here, then this happens. Oh, but then maybe rook f1, rook a8, then I just sack. Takes, and then I go here. And how are you defending yourself? Rook e6, I can just take. King g7. Push. Threatening mate. Defending the knight. I will play rook f1. If rook a8, I will sack the rook. And then this happens. King g7, I think is very... There is king h8 as well, but I get the tempo on the rook. If I can bring my queen, it might be fine, it might be losing, I don't care. There was also 95, 95, e5. My queen opens up. I didn't like queen b5, getting a tempo on my queen. Maybe that was the best actually. Maybe. Maybe not. We will see. I'm down to 5 minutes. My opponent has 12 minutes and I shouldn't really lose this because I would lose 11 rating points, and if I win I only get 5. I mean, it's kind of unfair, but that's life. And even in OTP that means, excuse me, that means over the board chess, of course you play rook b8, which I think is just a blunder. Yes, it's just a blunder. Wait, what? Aren't you scared about this? Takes, and here queen b5. Take, and play here. You can probably resign. Takes, and knight d5. Rook b2 takes, king g7, I guess, and here, and you resign. Most likely. I have 4 minutes left to calculate, but I don't think there is anything to calculate here. I'm threatening knight e7 at that point, so you probably have to take the. I mean, if you take b2, then knight e7. If you move the queen, I take with check and play here, and your king is getting mated. So rook f6. I think this is the best move. This is probably just unexplicable blunder. Now not taking, but playing knight d5, and my knight is suddenly a very strong piece. There is king g7. I should have calculated that, but I think just queen d4. Maybe, I mean, this is also an idea. My knight is super strong here. My knight is perfectly placed, my rook is perfectly placed, my queen should get on h5. Now probably we'll see like a 5-minute thing by my opponent, so I will cut it in the video.
A few moments later.
So my opponent made a move, he played queen b5, which I think is another blunder. I can just play knight f6. Knight e7 is also an option, I don't think it's great. So knight f6, I have to do it. It's a check. And then simply playing here. And my rook is defended, which is super important. Now anywhere he goes, I just play queen d4 next move. Maybe there is something else as well. I mean, if takes, then pawn takes, and then there is this fork, but I don't really wanna get into a rook endgame, so that's just bad. Even though I would be up a pawn there. Simply king g7, queen d4, and you probably have to resign. There was other move, not queen b5 here, but playing like king g7. But I guess I still go queen. Oh wait, I'm missing this. Is it any good though? Wait. Of course, at the least I have this, which I think won't really happen because, I mean, I have that idea as well. Maybe this is better. I have knight h5. I have figured that one out. There is also like here. No, queen. Wait a second. There is here. And then maybe knight e7, forcing him to take me and get a better pawn structure. Oh, but then rook b2 happens. That will be, the material will be the same. Knight h5 is a move. Here knight h5. I think it's bad. No, wait. Now I have to think. Queen c3 here doesn't change all that much. I guess he cannot take my pawn. He can still go to a2. Takes and takes. That position I hate more than I do this. And I have 2 minutes, which is quite bad. I completely missed that he has queen e5. I knew that I have this fork at the end if something happens, but I didn't really know I will have to do that. Wait, this would be an idea. So, if that's an idea, I mean, this is also bad. Here, also bad. If I go to d2, it's also bad. If I go to d1, here, here, if here, then I go maybe check, and then I can, This isn't what I wanted. Queen d5, knight if queen d5, queen e4, queen d4, queen e5, knight e7, queen e4, e e d4, rook b2, knight f8, king f8, rook c1, rook a2, rook c7. It's probably a draw, but hard draw to hold. And it's a draw, it's minus 3 points for draw. I mean, I have to play queen d4. Is there an alternative? And then maybe I cannot trade the queens, but I have to do it at one point. Here is just blitzed out, probably. And yes, playing king g7 is much better than playing king h8 because the rook on f8 is defended. That's the main and crucial difference. Otherwise, I would probably be just better in that endgame. Much better, if not winning. There is knight h5, but I mean, queen e5, queen d1. Go. Oh, with rook f. Oh, with rook f5 idea. And then here and mate. So here and here you have to. I know what I will play after queen e5 here. Queen d1, excuse me. With an idea of rook f4 here, winning probably. And if queen e5 here, if you take with the queen, I don't play rook f5 because queen b1. I can just play check and mate, probably. Here, where is the mate? The mate is right. Where is it? Mate is here, and then king, and then queen g7 is mate. And if you do this, well, I mean, well, yeah. That's all I have to say. I mean, after rook f4, there is also here, so... No, I mean, rook b2 is a huge blunder, because here, if you take, I take, you take, and I fork you. So you cannot do that. If you take here, I mean, that's also fine for you. I have 6 pawns, you have 5 pawns. The material is kind of balanced, but there is an imbalance to work with. I think it's perfectly fine. My queen will be centralized. I will start pushing my pawns on the king side. h6 is weak, a6 is weak, and I think I have perfect options to win there. Rook b2, by the way, a huge blunder here, and g2 is not attacked. So yes, I think this is your best option. I mean, firstly, like playing rook b2 looks nice, but when you know that you're gonna get forked, I mean, maybe here you play queen g5 right away, which is something I have also missed. So here, if you take, I go here, you have no defense to mate. I have 97 now. But firstly, rook f5. If you take king h1, how will you defend your mate? Here. I guess back rank is an idea. Here. There has to be forced mate, but I don't know how. Maybe just playing h3 there. I mean, taking on e3 was probably bad. Maybe not. Also, I have 97. I just don't want to play it. It might be necessary. I have here, but then king height. And also, if check and here happens, where is the mate? Yes, rook b2 happens. Of course it does. Maybe here firstly. Then go here, but then I blunder mate. On the back rank. I think h6. Check, king h2. Queen g1 here. Rook b3 is impossible. If you go here, I can just go here. So now I need to get to work how to win this. Rook h5 at some moment. h3 or h4 perhaps. h4. Check here. Wait, I didn't play this move. Maybe it's good. Wait, my mouse just... I was trying to... This was a mouse slip, if you believe it or not. This was a mouse slip. I didn't want to play g3. This was a mouse slip. Wait, this was a mouse slip. Ah, rook f1 is made. This was a mouse slip. Just resign. I mouse slipped, but probably it was lost. It wasn't really good for me. But I wanted to play h3 or h4. And I wanted to make h3, but I played g3 instead here. I played like this. So let's game review the game. I think it was fine to sack the rook. Maybe it wasn't. And then h3, and you still need to beat me, And it was the best move to sacrifice the rook, and it was a brilliant move. So let's see. So I played e4, e5 was played, knight f3, and knight e6, and I played bishop b5. And there is one line I'm studying. I mean, I have played c3 in some positions, and it's very good in blitz where there is like 5+0, where there is no increment, and just trying to play d4, and there is a lot. I mean, there are some tricky lines here. If you take, most people play d6 here and lose the game by force, and they take it. I mean, I can take here. I played bishop b5. It's a rapid game. So a6, bishop a4, and bishop c5 was kind of unusual. I played c3 with an idea to play d4. Now d6 also weird. I played d4, takes, and bishop a7. I played d5, which was fine, not the best. I should play knight c3. Oh, knight c3 simply, yes, if you do nothing, like h6, let's say, simply d5 here and knight takes, yeah? This is the idea. And it just lost. Knight e7 and you take. You can probably just take with the bishop as well. I mean, probably doesn't make a huge difference, but it does. Bishop a7 and you cannot castle, I guess. So you should take with the pawn here. And so there is no bishop a6. So d5, I played d5, b5, and I took. And I took the free pawn. Bishop g4, queen d1, slight inaccuracy. Because of queen f6, knight f6 was played instead, and now I'm better. After knight c3, I'm better. Castles, and I castled as well in few seconds. Maybe I should have played bishop g5 here. And after h6 take here, queen takes and knight d5, queen b2, and just castles. You're sacrificing a pawn, and of course don't blunder mate here. That's probably necessary. So I castled here, h6, preventing bishop g5 as an idea. Bishop e3 takes and takes. I think this pawn structure is fine, not the best. Queen e8 was a mistake because of queen to d4, not because of queen to d3. I should have seen this, because here Now I don't have here, but I have e5 apparently. And if takes then takes, probably just winning queen e6, I can sack the rook. I can. And knight here. And this is the following endgame where I have 2 knights for the rook. This should just be winning. Technically winning. I played queen e3 with an idea of knight d4, but yes, bishop takes on f3, rook takes, and queen takes on c6 was a mistake. Knight g4. Okay, now that you say it out loud, the computer, I mean, it's logical. Yes, this is also the weakness of the 2 isolated pawns, yeah? The square in front of them. Okay, I mean, he took which... You cannot blame him for doing that. Rook f1 was a mistake. Oh, right away. To sack the rook right away, I mean... But now rook e8, let's say. You have to play rook 8. What if queen b5? Oh, now I... Wait, I don't take firstly. Which is... Oh, that was a mistake. I should have... When queen b5 was played in my game, I should have played here. What an idiot. Rook f1 here, and I sacrificed the rook. G takes knight d5, of course, only move. Queen b5, and now I blundered. I should have played queen d1. Yeah, that's logical. I thought I have this idea, but even wait, what queen b2? I forgot about queen b2. If I'm completely honest, I forgot about queen b2. He played queen e5 instead. I played queen d1. Not the best move either. Queen here. A mistake. I played rook f5 and lose the game in one move, and then simply g3. I tried to push h3, and then I would probably still be losing. Here and here was my calculation. King g3. Rook f3 was my idea. Queen e1. Wait, why is it bad? Oh, king h4. And who is mating who, yeah? And I'm just lost. Just bad game. And here, yes, I mean, how much time did I spend on playing rook f5? Yeah, I spent 20 seconds. I should have spent like... I mean, at least like... Playing queen c1 here is a very logical move, defending both pawns. And yes, also, I mean, come on. After... queen b5. Come on, just play queen anywhere. Queen d4 there, I guess, is here. But if I play like queen d1 with this idea, how will you defend your mate, yeah? Happening here. Rook f5, rook here, and just take. c6 and now takes. King g7, now check. Oh, h4 is such a brilliant move. h4 deserves a brilliant move, by the way. An idea is that, of course, after something is played, let's say h5, here, there is no queen g5, I mean. And king h8, and where is mate? Queen f4, I guess, is... Not I guess, but by the computer. And now rook f3. Rook h8. Rook g3 here, and I take the pawn. And it's mate. Okay, I guess it was a good game. I have sacrificed the rook, and I think this... I mean, seeing that I have knight d5 was just very good here by me. But just missing after queen b5, just taking this pawn is unexplicable error. Also, I mean, I don't blame myself for playing rook f5. I thought I will mate him. I had 1 minute on the clock and it was bad, but I mean, let's just end the video with rook f6 here. It was a brilliant move, by the way. So yes, tell me down in the comments below what do you think of today's game. And as always, if you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would really help me out. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.